This evening on Republic.
Burning question.
As also Salman Rushdie battles for life, there are reported Iranian links emerging. There are some people in Iran already celebrating, tracking the story closely. Big leads emerging in the Kill Nupur Sharma plot. The terrorist arrested in Uttar Pradesh. It appears he has links in Syria, Afghanistan, and even Pakistan. A three-nation plot. He says he was tasked to kill Nupur. Security threat to UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. An FIR has now been registered after a bomb threat letter. No soft corner for terror, no appeasement anymore. Terrorists, family members won't be given jobs. It's the new directive in Jammu and Kashmir. Another NDA ally staring at a split. As Pashupati Paras, the central minister, backs NDA, three of his MPs are likely to back Nitish's JDU.
हमने जो डॉक्यूमेंट सबमिट किए थे वो सत्य के आधार पर डॉक्यूमेंट्स थे एंड दोज वर वैलिड डॉक्यूमेंट्स एंड समीर वानखेड़े एंड हिज फादर डेफिनेटली बिलोंग्स टू द शेड्यूल्ड कास्ट Mahar community.
Big win for Samir Wankhede. Caste Security Committee gives clean chit to the former NCB zonal director. Big setback for Nawab Malik. Thank you for joining us on The Burning Question. Across the world, there is a wave of targeted attacks. And here in India, especially in the last few weeks and months, we've been staring at some of the attacks from Udaipur to Amravati, from Kanhaiya Lal to Umesh Kole. And still there are many in India who continue to remain in denial. Salman Rushdie has been attacked twice. Translators have been attacked all over a book written 33 years ago. And look at what's happening in the case of Nupur Sharma. And today on The Burning Question, we ask some uncomfortable questions on radicalization and why some people, even today, will not accept the reality about the threats of radicalization. Here's the story so far. Nupur Sharma has been suspended from the BJP for a controversial comment. The fallout of that comment has seen attacks on different people in different parts of India. In Udaipur, Kanhaiya Lal has been killed over a social media post. In Amravati, Umesh Kole has been killed over a social media post, both related to Nupur. And it hasn't ended. It appears the attacks will continue. This terrorist has now been arrested in Uttar Pradesh. And the anti-terrorism squad of the UP police arrested this man linked to the Jaish-e-Mohammed. He was tasked with carrying out a Fidain attack on the suspended BJP spokesperson, Nupur Sharma.
मोहम्मद नदीम, जो कि नकुड़ थाना अंतर्गत जनपद सहारनपुर का निवासी है, उसको गिरफ्तार किया है और ये व्यक्ति जैश-ए-मोहम्मद नामक आतंकी संगठन के नेटवर्क का एक सदस्य है.
On Friday, author Salman Rushdie was attacked in New York. He too has been on the hit list of radicals for decades now.
Hopefully they can save me because the first night was like...
The attacker, it appears, used an alibi. This ID card of a fake name. A Belgian MP has tweeted this picture claiming Hadi Matar used a fake driver's license. His fake identity, she claimed, was Hassan Mughniya, drawing a link to Hezbollah and Iran and generals killed by America.
Immediately rushed to the attacker, and people jumped onto the stage from the audience to the point where there were probably 20 people on stage pulling the attacker off and keeping him contained. They called for medics at that point.
The doctor immediately began first aid to Mr. Rushdie, and then EMS, local EMS, was there very quickly and transported him. Working with the DA's office, we are in the process of obtaining search warrants for various items. There was a backpack.
Salman Rushdie is on a ventilator support with damaged liver and may even lose an eye. The motive, even though not announced, is clear, and there are already celebrations in parts of Iran.
Salman Rushdie was attacked on a stage in Western New York. Just before he was about to give a speech, he is alive. He has been transported, airlifted to save the state police. It was a state police officer who stood up and saved his life.
The Sartan se juda mindset and the radicalization is real. And there's no stopping these attacks unless we unite and call out radicalization for what it really is.
Burning question.
And joining us on the burning question this evening, Major General J.D. Bakshi, defense expert from New Delhi, Ratan Sharda, political analyst and author, Sandeep Ghosh, author, political commentator, Majid Hydari, journalist, political analyst, Kapil Madan, advocate, political analyst, Atikur Rahman, Islamic scholar, and Anirban Banerjee, political analyst. I want to start with Major General J.D. Bakshi. General J.D. Bakshi, is religious radicalization taking center stage across the world? I mean, it has been, but this latest attack telling us, all of us, why it's now more than ever that we must all wake up, sir.
Absolutely, we need to wake up and smell the coffee, because this radicalization is pushing new frontiers. Look, what this radicalized attitude states is that if you dare to criticize me or say anything about my religion, I have the right to slit your throat, I have the right to slaughter you, I have the right to kill you. Now, we are not living in a time warp in the 7th century AD. We are living in the 21st century. There is the rule of law. Each country has its own system of jurisprudence, and most of them do not subscribe to this blasphemy laws that are prevalent in some of the Islamic countries. That means they have the right to kill, to take life, to slaughter, to murder anyone who dares to disagree with their concept of religion. So I am not saying it is a very good thing to go around deliberately hurting religious feelings, religious sentiments. But the reaction cannot be, so self-assertive that it becomes a danger to civilization per se. You cannot in the 21st century take the world back to a time warp in the 7th century AD. While I do not like the idea of anybody hurting anybody else's religious sentiments, I mind my business, I expect others to mind their business, but it is equally important that you don't make it your business to kill, to slit the throat, or to slaughter anyone who disagrees with you. Right? That cannot be accepted in the 21st century in an enlightened era. And I think it is now time for the mass of moderate Muslims, the moderate Muslim majority who would like to educate their children, live decent lives, let them earn a good living, live like normal human beings. I'm sure it is time for them to stand up and be counted against these lunatic fringe, against this minority that is prepared to kill. And usually we have seen these small minorities, they terrorize the vast majority, the silent majority into submission. And because of them, because of this lunatic fringe, the mass majority gets a bad name for no rhyme or reason, for no fault of theirs. So therefore it is time for the silent Muslim majority to stand up and speak up and be counted. We saw this happening in the Punjab. A handful of terrorists were able to terrorize the whole population. It is only when the people of the Punjab said enough is enough that terrorism came to an end. So we are waiting for that kind of voices to arise from the silent Muslim majority of peace-loving people. I mean, most communities are peace-loving. Nobody likes to go around slitting throats as a hobby. But for some people to take it upon themselves to terrorize the rest of the world into total submission, into total, acquiescence to their mad logic, that if you don't agree with me, I have the right to cut your throat. I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
I have my rights, you have your rights. Your rights end where my nose begins.
Yeah, you spoke about the need for people to speak up, and I have here with me Atikur Rahman has been on many such debates when we speak about the need to tell people and when you say community leaders must speak up. Atikur, you've spoken up. You saw what happened. We were horrified when that video came in yesterday of that man lunging at Salman Rushdie. I mean, this is as real as it gets. I mean, you got goosebumps looking at the video of Umesh Kole, right? Kanhaiya Lal. You saw that video of Kanhaiya Lal, and it reminded us of the terrors of radicalization. I mean, I want to get your response to this, Atikur.
Niranjan, I would like to further the cause of General Bakshi. As far as the Quran goes, the teachings of the Prophet goes, blasphemy is not established even if somebody is criticizing either the Quran, the Prophet or the religion of Islam. This what needs to go down to the last level of the man. It is the radical elements either in Pakistan or Iran or in some years back in Saudi Arabia, which is trying to now correct itself. The problem, Bakshi Sahab, is the right voice, the right message has not been, translated into good words. And that is why this radicalization is spreading down to the, level of such acts wherein in the 21st century, when the youth is busy and wants to busy himself with all the challenges of this century, they are being dragged into history. This needs to end, and this will end if our voice goes and the rational elements come to the fore. We are given a chance to explain that criticism we are inviting, because we are equipped, General Saab, to answer the criticism against our Prophet. There is nothing to be touchy about, either about Islam or the Prophet, his life. What Salman Rushdie did in the satanic verses was answered by Dr. Rafiq Zakaria, my mentor, through a book called Muhammad in the Quran, when he refuted all the allegations, what Salman Rushdie did, and he was answered. Now there is no place in this century, as you said, to take a knife and going about killing people. No. We demand an apology from our community. All leaders of the community, Niranjan, should come and write an apology letter, not only to Salman Rushdie and Nupur Sharma, but invite criticism in the name of Islam, the Prophet and the religion of Islam.
No, I'm really happy that you said that. I think, you come on debates and you say that, but what you say is very different from what a lot of other people say. Yes, Anirban, I see you raising your hand. Yes, Anirban, what do you want to say, Anirban?
First of all, my opinion is that I strongly condemn the approach that it's the burden is on the Muslim community as a whole to prove themselves over and over again that they are against radicalization. I don't think this is a very fair thing to do.
No, I don't think anybody has done that.
If this attack on Salman Rushdie has to be condemned.
I don't think anybody has said that. We just said radicalization is real. That's it. Radicalization is real.
No, I'm not referring to you. I am referring to you. But there have been many people who are actually inviting the Muslim leaders or the community as a whole that you come out and prove that you're against radicalization. They have nothing to prove. Nobody has to prove anything. Any sane-minded person belonging to any religion will always be against radicalization. You don't have to be a Muslim or a Hindu or a Christian to criticize this assault on Salman Rushdie. It is not the sole responsibility of the Muslim community. I don't agree with that notion at all.
Not at all. Nobody said that.
Militancy in any form, any attempt to stifle the voices of any critic, whoever it is, has to be condemned by everyone unequivocally.
No, it will be.
It doesn't matter whether he is a Muslim or a Hindu. And having said that,
10 seconds.
And having said that, this series of attacks on any free thinker or any critic is not something new. We have seen in Bangladesh, the likes of Abhijit Rai have been murdered. In our very own country, M.M. Kalburgi, Govind Pansare, Gauri Lankesh have been murdered by those people. We know who they are. The fundamentalists we don't have to look for fundamentalism in foreign countries. They are prospering in our very own country. You know through which political party, which organization.
Don't make it
Therefore, we have
political.
to stand up against all kinds of radicalization.
See.
That is my humble submission.
Can you make it political? Sandeep Ghosh is raising his hand. Sandeep Ghosh, I think he's missing the trees for the woods here. Sandeep is raising his hand. Sandeep and Kapil will come in after that. Yeah, Sandeep, you heard what he said.
Yeah, I heard what he said. And it is, to my mind, neither political
it's not
nor religious. I think we have to look beyond both the lenses. And there has to be zero tolerance and no selective condemnation or selective action. And until we have that, until people, there is no point in saying this is only a minuscule section of a particular community, be it of any religion, any political group. There has to be unanimous condemnation by the country, and the government has to feel empowered to act. Because every time if they act, if there are 10 other voices which question their action, saying that, you are painting everyone with the same brush, etc., then your whole action gets diluted. Look at France. They are looking, with an even hand, they don't discriminate between religion. Whatever, today Macron has supported Rushdie. In another occasion, he had taken action against a particular community. So it has to be even-handed. Unfortunately, in our country, in the name of democracy, we deflect issues, obfuscate issues, and with that, you're never going to get a solution. And with due respect to General Bakshi, it is not a question of one section of people, general consciousness arising. Look at Rushdie. If Rushdie could be attacked 34 years later, think of this young lady, Nupur Sharma. Will she be able to live with peace rest of her life, not knowing what is going to happen to her or her children maybe some 30, 40 years later? And last 2 points, with due deference, my recollection of Rafiq Zakaria's position on Salman Rushdie is very different. Rafiq Zakaria wrote an open letter to Salman Rushdie. First of all, he supported the banning of satanic verses, and then he wrote a letter questioning various sections of the book and trying to counter him and saying why the book was wrong and why the book. So let us not try to whitewash thing. And today, because Fareed Zakaria is taking a position, it does not, counter what Rafiq Zakaria did. But it's not about him, not about anybody else. If I, as a moderate person, keep silent on anybody in either my political leanings or religion, then I'm complicit in that matter, and the entire nation must take action for it.
Yeah, and let me ask you one question, okay? Please tell me, okay? And Majid can take that question. Majid, please tell me, why are some people in Iran celebrating? Why are some people in Iran, the media in Iran, the conservative media in Iran, can someone please tell me, okay? Why is the conservative media in Iran, why are people in Iran on the streets of Iran celebrating? Not all, some. Why?
Well, Niranjan, I don't know if you are getting my audio.
We can. I can hear you clearly, yeah.
See, firstly, we are discussing something which has taken place oceans apart, and American government has nowhere described it as an act of terror or an act of indoctrination, because as you know it better than me, you are well versed with American and international affairs. In America, the number of homicides per year is almost 10,000. So that means every 40 minutes somebody is stabbed.
Can I give you some facts that you may not know? Only to put this in context, okay? I have the ID that this alleged attacker used. Let me just put that image out. We have the ID that this alleged attacker used, okay? It's a fake driver's license as tweeted by a Belgian MP. I want to put that.
But whatever American government has not
There's a reason I'm doing it. One minute. There's a reason I'm doing it. Trust me, at the end of this, you'll understand why I did this, okay? Let's put the picture out, okay? Now, I'm just putting that up. That was his ID, okay? Can I please have that idea out? Yeah, okay, he called himself Hassan Mughniya, okay? His name was Hadi Matar or something, Hadi Matar, but his fake ID, Hassan Mughniya was the name used, okay? This was tweeted by a Belgian MP. It's a New Jersey. It's a New Jersey.
No, it doesn't matter.
Wait.
Salman Rushdie was using a
Oh,
ghost
no, brother. Hear me out. There's a reason I'm telling you this, okay? This identity Hassan Mughniya, right? Imad Mughniya was a Hezbollah commander who was killed by America, okay? Close to Salman, the Iranian commander, what is his name? Soleimani, who was killed, right? Thereby drawing a Hezbollah-Iran link, right? And there are people in Iran celebrating. Now, you tell me, why are people in Iran celebrating? And you tell me if this is not part of religious radicalization or radicalization because of religion.
Firstly, we are going to celebrate our 75th freedom.
Yes.
Independence, sorry for that matter. And we are such a proud nation that we don't need to take inspiration from France or America or Belgium or whatever on our secular ethos. Because our nation was the first nation to ban satanic verses, to ban Salman Rushdie.
Then what is happening in the case of Kanhaiya Lal and Umesh Kole? What just happened in the case of Kanhaiya Lal and Umesh Kole?
See, that
you're talking about secular credentials.
No, you are mixing up right to freedom of expression and hate speech. There needs to be a stone wall.
No, sir, I don't think you know what happened in the case of I don't think you know what happened in the case of Umesh Kole or Kanhaiya Lal. Let me educate you a little bit, Majid. Only I'll put the facts in perspective.
See, Kanhaiya Lal was already accused of something which he should not have done.
No, Majid, you're wrong. Majid, you're wrong. He was first booked for a post he did not put out. He did not know how to use a smartphone. Ratan Sharda, am I saying something wrong? You ask Ratan Sharda.
If there are people who want to misconstrue everything and try to create equivalence between terror, radicalization, and some select violence, I am sorry for them. Now let me say that our illiberal seculars are equally to blame. They have blood on their hand. They were very happily asking for the ban of Salman Rushdie's book, and they talk of freedom of expression. And now when he's attacked and he may survive, they say no, it is a bad attack. You cannot play it both ways. It was Rajiv Gandhi government which put a ban on the book, and it was done to placate Shayyad Sahabuddin, who wanted to march to Ayodhya. To stop him, this was done. So people would talk about did they speak anything when Salman Taseer, the Punjab governor, was murdered for his support, for his opposition to blasphemy laws. Mr. Atikur Rahman has done wonderful well today. I am very happy he spoke like that. But there are people here who are trying to even prove him wrong and trying to cover up for the terrorists. So Salman Taseer died because he protected a Christian woman. He opposed the blasphemy law. We have Geert Wilders in Denmark, who is living in a Sweden, who is living in a military camp all his life and only goes to parliament. We have the statement of Mr. Mohammed Zubair. If you see that Salman Rushdie was attacked after 30 years, imagine what Mohammed Zubair has started. And if you remember Iran's just a moment. Iran's beheading threat to Salman came.
हमारा धर्म भ्रष्ट हो जाएगा अगर हम उस पर सवाल उठाएंगे. We can't question his fatwa.
Not only that,
he is one of the iconic Islamic leaders of all times.
We are celebrating today.
We can't question his fatwa, sir. There is no
chance. Rahman was persecuted by the local Indian Muslims for giving music to Iranian Muslim movie on Muhammad.
It's not about Iran, sir. It's about fatwa and religious sentiments.
It was an Iranian movie.
What happened to Ahmed Hussain Tani elected a nation? Honorable Supreme Court said he's innocent, but he had to leave the country. Religion has always been a sensitive.
Let us speak.
Religion is a very sensitive issue, so we should mutually respect each other's religious views.
Okay, I agree with. Let's all respect everyone's religious views.
Have I said anything about religion?
No.
Have I said anything about any religion? I have said
you're trying to hint and you are trying to
illiberal class who did not defend Salman Rushdie, who did not defend Salman Taseer, who refused to condemn Nia Rahman's boycott or threat when he gave a music to Iranian movie about Muhammad. They did not speak when Lady of Heaven was banned in UK for no reason at all. So you can keep on talking of freedom of expression, you can keep on acting hurt, but in a democratic society, sir, there is certain level of freedom without, if you don't want to create hate, to treat what you want to treat as hate is your outlook. It is how you interpret. Are you opposing Atikur Rahman?
No,
Are you saying what Atikur Rahman said is wrong?
No, I don't think anybody...
He's an Islamic scholar. You are just a lay person. Are you saying that what Atikur Rahman said was wrong? Are you trying to equivocate between for the terror that I talked about? No, you're not. But you are hurt when somebody speaks about Hadith, but you are laughing when Shivling is called.
1 minute. Yeah. No. I'm not even getting into. I don't want to.
I invited that line.
Ratan Sharda. I don't want. I see. Kapil Madan. Yes.
Did I use?
No, you didn't. No, 1 minute. You didn't. But
talked about the illiberal class silence.
Yes. You did question the silence. You see.
Religion. Nobody spoke.
Nobody spoke. In fact, you asked Kapil Madan.
Same fellow today, he said, I will not speak on Salman Rushdie, if you remember. In another channel, he said because there is a fatwa.
Who's that?
And today he talks like a liberal.
Sorry, who's that?
He clearly said yesterday.
Who said what? Who said what? Sorry, I missed it. Who said what?
Mr. Majid Haidari, in another channel where I was there, he refused to condemn attack on Salman Rushdie yesterday.
Is that true, Majid?
Today he's trying to behave
1 minute.
liberal.
Majid, is that true?
Not question the fatwa by revered figure Ayatollah Khomeini Rahmatullah Alayh.
Now
he is one of the biggest Islamic leaders.
Please ask Rahman what he feels about it. Ask Muslim scholar.
No, 1 minute. Sir, Ratan Sharda, let me ask him. 1 minute. So 1 minute. I didn't. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't watch, but I didn't watch. I missed it. You condemn the attack or no? Majid,
see,
I'm sorry.
I cannot question the fatwa. That is it.
No, do you condemn the attack? Of course you do, right?
I don't know what has happened oceans apart.
No. I will tell you. No. Wait, come on, Majid, come on. See, Majid, come on. He's been stabbed in the neck. He may lose an eye. There are stab wounds to his abdomen and liver.
US annually. Do we condemn?
I only asked you 1 minute. Please, Ratan Sharda, don't say anything. Ratan Sharda, wait. So, Majid, come on, come on. I'm shocked. You're not even condemning the attack. I'm telling you the facts.
We don't have the exact details. The government is not coming up. American government is not coming up with
They've
the
gone
details.
on record, Majid. Are you serious?
It's just another intentional homicide.
Majid, are you serious? Are you serious?
Yes,
They've gone on record.
Yes.
The governor and the police have gone on record to call it an attack. An attack. I'm asking you a simple question. Do you condemn the attack? You don't condemn the attack?
Attack on Taslima Nasreen. Let me ask back home.
1 minute.
I'm okay. Taslima Nasreen, who is hiding in India?
Ratan Sharda, let me ask. Okay, I don't have a clear audio line with you, Majid. I can't hear you clearly. I'm asking you clearly, okay? Because I'm asking you a clear question. I want to hear only you. Majid Haidari, do you condemn the attack on Salman Rushdie on stage when he was first punched and then stabbed in the neck, in the abdomen, in the liver, in New York?
Speaking about America is not my locus standi, it's not my jurisdiction, it's not my business, it's none of my businesses.
I'm just finding. Majid, come on, Majid. Majid, see, this is Majid. 1 minute. No, this is. I think this is extreme. Majid, an attack is an attack. How can you how can you qualify an attack? Someone has been attacked and is battling for their life.
Constitution.
So you don't attack. You don't condemn it. Can I ask you
what media has reported? The government.
Okay. Let me ask you a simple question. Okay, do you condemn the attack? Yes, no, don't comment. Won't comment.
Won't comment. Yes, I won't comment.
Okay, there you go.
Because this is none of my business. Something has happened somewhere.
It is your business. I'll tell you why it is your business. I'll tell you why it is your business. I'll tell you why it is your business.
I mean, this is
it's wrong.
No,
it's really wrong. No, I'm just
celebrate 75th Independence Day.
Majid.
Let's talk about the celebrations. How will celebrate?
Majid, I'll tell you what here. Okay.
How to strengthen the nation.
No, we will talk.
How to get the best of the community.
We will.
How to get the best of the unity in the country.
We will. No, we will. Okay, I don't don't want to make it only about Majid. No, Ratan Sharda, 1 minute. I don't want to make it only about Majid. Okay. No,
what happened to the lady who cannot celebrate?
I don't want to talk only about Majid. It's fine, Majid. You have your opinion. You've made your opinion clear on national television. I have nothing more to say. I want to continue with the debate. Let me get in Kapil Madan. Kapil, I just saw, I think Atikur Rahman is raising his hand. Atikur and Kapil Madan on one side. I'll get in Sandeep Ghosh and Jalal Bakshi on the other. Yes, yes, Kapil, what are you saying, Kapil?
So, Niranjan, I think, one should be very, very clear and should call spade a spade. I'm a little disappointed with Majid Haidari. He's trying to defend something which no rational person.
He's not defending, but he won't condemn it either. He's not defending, but he won't condemn it.
Niranjan, let me say what I think about it. Liberalism and secularism does not mean that you will turn a blind eye to a gruesome incident when someone is being killed in the name of religion. And I would just like to, completely endorse what Jalal Bakshi said in the starting, that you can't, you need to ensure that these, lunatic fringe does not do anything which basically is directed to the entire community. And we, as an individual and as a responsible citizen, should ensure that we should not let the atmosphere vitiate any further, and you should call something which is wrong a wrong. I don't know where is the difficulty. So I think Majid today is, I don't know, it's a little disappointing to hear that
about
despite being
75th Independence Day, let's talk about national integrity, how to strengthen our nation, how to strengthen the national security, how to overcome unemployment, how to make...
Yeah, we can do that, Majid, if you're all on the same page, right, Majid? Majid, we can do that. Majid, we can do that if you're all on the same page.
In United States, some strange incident in United States. Every 40 minutes we have such strange incidents taking place in the United States. Why are we wasting nation's precious time at this moment over Salman Rushdie? Please enlighten me on this.
I see three people raising their hands.
No, can I?
Yeah, Jalal Bakshi. Yes, Jalal
Yeah,
Bakshi, please. Jalal Bakshi and then Sandeep Ghosh. Jalal Bakshi, yeah.
Majid, there is something called basic human decency. You see, Salman Rushdie, firstly, is an Indian. He is an Indian novelist. He received death threats 30 years ago. Today, those death threats have been carried out in a most gruesome manner. I mean, a human being has been slashed on his throat, his liver has been punctured, he's been hit in the abdomen, he's about to lose an eye, he could easily have died. Basic human decency demands that we condemn such abominable acts, such murders. This is an attempt to murder, right?
Law does not believe in emotions, sir.
As part of civilized behavior.
Don't be emotional
No,
over
I'm
such
not.
incidents.
Excuse me.
Law does not teach
You
you
don't
to be
believe in
emotional,
emotions.
please.
I'm asking you to believe in basic human decencies.
There is no human decency in some strange
Decency.
oceans apart about which
That's
we don't
number
know
one.
the reality.
It is not human
we
decency.
don't know nothing about what has happened there.
It is decent to slaughter a guy.
Of course.
It is not indecent to attack a human being with the intent to
What do
kill
we know? What have
in a
been the
very
reasons that
painful
what has
manner,
happened? We know nothing
in full
about it,
public
sir.
view.
Okay.
See, what has
How
been
do
the
we know
reason?
what actually
So,
has happened?
what,
We don't have
that
a
is the
picture.
problem, sir. You excuse that
in the
murder
dark.
because you think he
Sandeep is saying something. Yes, Sandeep.
your religion.
Sandeep is saying something.
He criticized
Let
your
me come in,
religion,
please.
so he
General,
loses
give
the
me a
right to
minute.
live.
General, give me a second. General, give me a second.
Sandeep.
General, give me a second.
Yeah, Sandeep. General is yielding.
I want to answer Majid squarely. Yes, it is not a question of emotions. It is not a question of sentiments. It is a matter of what's right and wrong. You are asking why we are debating this today before Independence Day. India cannot progress. India cannot have this unemployment problem, economic problem solved if our security is not ensured. And this is precisely what radicals and terrorists are trying to do. Let me complete, Majid. You are right to say. Let me say.
Majid, let him complete. I'll give you a chance. Majid, let him speak, please. Majid, let him speak. Majid, let him speak. Majid, let him speak. I'll give you a turn.
Hang on. If we don't condemn Salman Rushdie, we will be emboldening the people in India to tomorrow take action against Nupur Sharma or anybody else. And that is the reason why Indians have to stand up, condemn it unequivocally, and I will disagree with General Bakshi that there is nothing called moderate, sensible or anything. Everybody, irrespective of their political or religious spectrum, has to condemn it. And until we take that kind of a single voice, no tolerance, this thing, we are jeopardizing not just society, but our people, development, everything. There is no scope of equivocating on this. Double speak and bantering, and that is what you're doing. It is unfortunate. They're coming on national television. You could not condemn this one attack for whatever reason it might be, and that speaks a lot. Very, very sorry about that.
This is time for celebrations, time for merrymaking.
Celebration?
Let's not look at the strange and having taken place oceans apart.
Celebration.
One minute.
Or the attack on Salman Rushdie.
No, 1 minute. You want us to? Okay, you're saying celebrate what? Celebrate what? Celebrate what? Majid, celebrate what? Celebrate what?
Our 75th Independence
That
Day.
we are. That we are and that we will.
Which was first to ban Salman
No, that we are and that we will from Lal Chowk.
Which never gave him visa.
No, that we are and that we will from Lal
I am proud
Chowk.
of my nation.
No, that we are and that we will from Lal Chowk.
Zindabad.
No, that we are and that we will from Lal Chowk. From 6 a.m. in the morning to midnight we will be live. Republic TV will be live from 6 a.m. to midnight. We will celebrate from every corner of India. That we will. But it's really wrong. I just found it extremely wrong. Atik wanted to come in, and I see Ratan Sharda also raising his hand. Atik, I'll give you a turn. Atik and Anirban, and I'll get in Ratan Sharda next. Ratan Sharda and Jal Bakshi also wanted to respond. Yes, Atik.
Niranjan, I speak purely on the basis of my credentials as a researcher.
No, you please don't go on the back foot. You please don't go on the back foot.
Atikur Rahman, in the name of my
Atikur Rahman, there are some people trying to intimidate you, and they always try to do that. I don't know why. I hope you're not going on the back foot. I hope not.
No, I won't get intimidated, Niranjan. I assure you that. Since the killings are in the name of my religion, my prophet, my Allah, it is incumbent on me to tell the people that Quran does not sanctions blasphemy. Quran invites criticism. The Prophet always pardoned and gave amnesty to his detractors. Who am I to, condemn the killing? My Quran condemns it. Even if my personal things are saying that it should not be condemned, my Allah, my Quran, my Prophet used to condemn anything which is not, human, which is not given parity to, equality. Quran is based on equality. The Prophet used to pardon the most of his detractors. The lady you tried to poison the Prophet, she was pardoned. And there are numerous examples. So herein the right message should be, Mr. Majid Hydari and Arinbar, that if the killings are in the name of Islam, I condemn it. I do not look here and then with the BJP and the RSS or the killing of some other radical elements. Here in the question,
He's a scholar. He's a scholar. Please, Majid, please don't run him down only because you disagree with him. He's a very senior scholar.
I don't disagree. Let me add one thing.
No, he's an Islamic scholar. Please. Majid, I respected your views. You may say whatever, it's wrong, but I respected your views because you're speaking as an individual. You're free. This country gives you the right to have your own opinion. But respect his views as well.
That is what I want to celebrate. So let's be into celebrations.
But respect Atik's views as well. Okay? Don't run him down. Yes, Atik.
Majid Sahab, just tell me one thing. In the Quran, even the Prophet was not given the authority by Allah to condemn people and settle scores. He was just a warner. Allah told Prophet Muhammad, just give the message down to the people, the last man. But you are not to use force, not to settle personal scores, not to create enmity. So if the Prophet was not allowed to create enmity, who are we? Who are we to support any radicalization in the name of Islam?
Can I add
okay, I don't want to make this about religion, but I think
No. Let me add something more to what this Atikur Rahman Bhai said. See, Allah, we in Quran believe Allah is almighty for entire mankind. He is He is Allah for entire mankind, and our Prophet is mercy unto entire mankind. So when we say mercy unto entire mankind and Rabbul Alameen, God for the entire mankind, there is nothing like violence in Islam. There is nothing like terrorism in Islam. So I want to say, let's forget this topic and let's talk about our celebrations.
No.
Please.
Can I? Okay. You know what? I feel you've perhaps
bizarre logic.
No, one minute.
That is a
No,
bizarre
one minute. No, this is a bizarre. And how can you say there's nothing called terrorism? Are you serious? Majid, are you even listening to yourself on what you're saying on the debate today? You're saying there's nothing called
terrorism. There is nothing about terrorism in Islam. There is nothing
No.
about
I'm asking you. See, I'm not getting into your faith, right? I'm not getting into anything. I'm not going to make any comment. But I'm only saying, no, I'm sorry, because you made a comment here. I have to correct you. There is something called terrorism. When you pick up a gun, you kill someone innocent, it's called terrorism. Okay, when you strike terror in the minds of people, it's called terrorism. When you, like what happened in Idgah today, in Srinagar, when you throw a grenade and the splinter hits a Jawan and a civilian who's also a Kashmiri, that is terrorism. And also what is terrorism is when a person is arrested in Saharanpur from the Jaish-e-Mohammed and TTP and was sent here, and he says his mission was to kill Nupur Sharma, that is also terrorism. You can't say there is nothing called terrorism. I think, you're saying let's celebrate 75 years of freedom, sir, and you're saying there's nothing called terrorism. I'm just a little taken aback. I see General Bakshi wants to come in.
There is nothing like terrorism in Islam.
1 minute. I don't want to talk about anyone's faith, religion, scriptures. I will not get into that. I will not get into that. But General Bakshi, I know you want to come in. You have strong views on that. But I request you to be measured, sir. Yes,
can I just, Niranjan?
Yes, sir, yes.
Majid, now I think you need to hear the others too. Acha, look, we are all celebrating the 75th anniversary of our independence. But just yesterday, one of our posts in Puri was subjected to a terrorist attack with the intention of killing a whole 20-30 of our soldiers. It is just that they were alert and just 3 or 4 died and they shot the other dead. Now you are saying we should not talk about this attack? We should forget about it? That those families are mourning, we should forget about them? Who cares a damn if some soldiers have died? Is that what you are implying? I'm sorry. Yes, we would like to celebrate, but there are people who are trying to mar our celebrations by such violent attacks. Such people have to be taken to task. And my point is, please understand, I have fought terrorism in the Punjab. It is my experience that when a violent, lunatic minority rears its head, the silent majority all keep quiet. They don't want their children to be attacked. They don't want their families to be targeted. So they keep quiet. And because they keep quiet, unfortunately, over a period of time, the whole community gets a bad name, gets tarred with the same brush. They don't deserve it. The Muslim community do not deserve this. There are very good Muslims like Abdul Hamid, Paramveer Chakra, like Brigadier Usman Mahavir Chakra. We don't want their names tarred with the same black brush that the terrorists use. And what Atikur Rahman is saying is absolutely 100% right. He is saying, please study your own religion and then follow its tenets. The Quran Sharif says even the death of one innocent is tantamount to the murder of whole humanity. Who, if Allah wanted them to believe, who are you to force them to believe? These are words from the Quran Sharif itself. They did not believe in this. So what Atikur is saying is, every Muslim has the right to study the Quran and come to his own conclusions. No fanatic
General Saab, I respect your views, sir. I respect your views, but रंग में भंग ना डालें. खुशी का मौका है. क्या लाग आप रहे हैं आज आप? खुशी का मौका है. रंग में भंग ना डालें.
No, but खुशी का मौका है. But you know what? खुशी का मौका है. 1 minute. Majid,
you are now getting insensitive.
Majid,
somebody in your family died.
No, 1 minute, sir. Majid, it's not needed. A little disappointed, Majid. Yesterday we lost 4 of our brave hearts, 4 of them. And this morning We were live as their bodies were taken back home in the tricolour. And I don't know whether you call that celebration, it's not. Yes, we celebrate their valor, but their families have lost 4 loved ones. So please, Majid, be a little measured. I request you, okay? I request you. Please be a little measured.
So why do you forget Galwan then? Kindly tell me.
Majid, please, I don't want to get into a debate. Majid, stop being insane.
Please.
Majid, 1 minute.
No,
Majid.
Don't be a hypocrite.
Majid, what about Galwan? What about Galwan, Majid? What about Galwan, Majid?
Arguing for the
What about Galwan, Majid? What about Galwan?
No, there are reports China is still occupying our territory in Ladakh. You go and check out the statements. Even Subramaniam Swamy recently said on Twitter space, I was there. He said China.
What are you even saying? What are you comparing it to? What are you comparing? What is wrong with you, Majid?
I'm sorry, this is...
Majid, what is wrong with you? Please, okay, fine. No, please, not today, not on the eve of Independence Day, please, I don't want to. Anirban wants to come in. Anirban, I don't want to, Majid. Okay, I don't want to. I'm choosing to just stay quiet. I'm choosing to stay quiet. Yes, Ratan Sharda, I'm coming to you. Anirban want to come in. Yes, Anirban.
Yeah, I am seriously appalled today at the approach that Majid Babu has taken. I mean, these kind of lackluster approach actually encourage fundamentalists from all corners of the world, including India. I mean, why even attempt to water down what was clearly an assassination attempt related to hatred? Is there any second thought about that? I mean, what is so problematic about condemning this assassination attempt? Why cannot Majid Babu do that? He was repeatedly trying to water down the entire incident and deflect from the major issue. He says this is not even an issue, this is not a serious topic. I mean, I do not know how on earth he could say that today. Everybody, at least today, I expected that every panelist would agree on one point, that radicalization of any form has to be condemned. Yeah. Any religion, any sect, any community, whatever has to be condemned. But why Majid Babu could not do it is beyond my comprehension. I'm seriously shocked.
Yeah, okay, I'll leave it at that because I've run out of time, but I'm extremely disappointed. Ratan Sharda, 30 seconds, Ratan Sharda, I have to end the show.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
First of all, he keeps on saying that we are celebrating 7th Independence Day. Before 15th August, there is 14th August, which we remember as Holocaust Day. Don't forget that. And we must remember that we paid a heavy price for the kind of language used by Abajid Hedri. Coming to my main point, I always am after the illiberal seculars. I'm not against Islam. We need people like Atur Rahman. We don't need people like Mahdi who's trying to confuse people. I have a question. Did any of the secular liberals criticize Taslima's and Nasreen's, isolation, attacks on her, and blocking her visa also? Nobody spoke. Jaipur Lit Fest, Salman Rushdie was invited, he was cancelled. Not only cancelled, people who spoke from his book, they were harassed, they were attacked. Did the liberals speak? Did the illiberal secular speak? They did not. So that is the problem with us. We are selective. We are afraid to challenge the extremism and then you come here and quantify it.
Sharda, you people have done the same.
I don't want to get into the debate on that. I've run out of time. Completely run out of time. Kapil, I've run out of time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I'd also like to thank General Bakshi, Ratan Sharda, Sandeep Ghosh, Majid Adri, Kapil Madan, Atikur Rahman, Anirban Banerjee. I think I agree with Anirban. We all could have agreed on one thing, that the attack was condemnable. It's really sad that we couldn't. On radicalization, the debate on radicalization, and I think that tells you a lot. Taking a short break here on Republic. Back with the headlines at 10 p.m. Stay tuned.
The Amity BBA has been ranked India's #1 BBA in the recently released Times of India B School 2022 rankings, a testimony to Amity BBA's globally benchmarked standards in education.
These kind of trainings are very important because this entire region is more of the mountainous rather than plains. So the Jawan coming to the Kargil battle school has to go all kind of training.
हमारे सेना में लड़ाई लड़ने की इच्छा शक्ति, आत्मविश्वास तथा दुश्मन को निष्क्रिय करने का ताकत है।
You have to be physically fit if you have to be in this kind of weather and in this kind of region. On the eve of Independence Day, Republic from Siachen base camp. Bigger challenge for the Indian Army, the soldiers, is not only fighting with the enemy but also in adverse weather.
चैलेंज की बात है तो चैलेंज इंडियन आर्मी के लिए कोई चैलेंज नहीं होता। इतने -डिग्री तापमान में सर्वाइव करने के लिए हमें स्पेशल इक्विपमेंट और क्लोथिंग इशू किए जाते हैं।
पर जाने से पहले हमारे को स्पेशल ट्रेनिंग, स्पेशल इक्विपमेंट्स दिए गए।
China, Pakistan cannot enter into Siachen because the Satwara Ridge is being controlled by the Indian Army here.
And viewers, here at Republic TV, we take pride in our country, we take pride in the Tiranga, we take pride in our forces, our nation. On the 15th of August, Republic TV will be live. That's Monday. Our live coverage starts at 6 a.m. and goes all the way until midnight. 15th of August, as we complete 75 years of being a nation, we will be live on Republic TV 6 a.m. to midnight. Stay tuned.
These kind of trainings are very important because this entire region is more of the mountainous rather than plains. So the Jawan coming to the Kargil battle school has to go all kind of training.
हमारे सेना में लड़ाई लड़ने की इच्छा शक्ति, आत्मविश्वास तथा दुश्मन को निष्क्रिय करने का ताकत है।
You have to be physically fit if you have to be in this kind of weather and in this kind of region. On the eve of Independence Day, Republic from Siachen base camp. Bigger challenge for the Indian Army, the soldiers, is not only fighting with the enemy but also in adverse weather.
चैलेंज की बात है तो चैलेंज इंडियन आर्मी के लिए कोई चैलेंज नहीं होता। इतने -डिग्री तापमान में सर्वाइव करने के लिए हमें स्पेशल इक्विपमेंट और क्लोथिंग इशू किए जाते हैं।
पर जाने से पहले हमारे को स्पेशल ट्रेनिंग, स्पेशल इक्विपमेंट्स दिए गए।
China, Pakistan cannot enter into Siachen because the Satwara Ridge is being controlled by the Indian Army here.
India reported over 15,800 fresh cases in the last 24 hours. The active COVID cases have risen to above 1.19 lakh mark. The daily COVID positivity rate, meanwhile, has risen to 4.
बांध के निकला था वो मस्त मलंग दीवारा सा, देश की खातिर जान लुटा दो, गाता एक तराना था। जय हिंद 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 जय हिंद। जब दुश्मन
What the camel can do in the desert, no amount of technology can.
And this is what we're going to tell you. What is the capability of this camel? रेगिस्तान में सबसे इफेक्टिव जानवर जो है वो कैमल है। तो कैमल को किस तरह से ट्रेन किया जाए कि पीस टाइम में वहाँ पर अच्छी तरह से पेट्रोलिंग कर सकें, पूरे एरिया की देखभाल कर सकें, वॉर के अंदर जो इसकी यूटिलिटी है, जो इसकी उपयोगिता है, उसको अपना सार्थक कर सकें। Come with me. Let's spend some time with India's only camel unit at the BSF grounds in Jodhpur.
These kind of trainings are very important because this entire region is more of the mountainous rather than plains. So the Jawan coming to the Kargil battle school has to go all kind of training.
हमारे सेना में लड़ाई लड़ने की इच्छा शक्ति, आत्मविश्वास तथा दुश्मन को निष्क्रिय करने का ताकत है।
You have to be physically fit if you have to be in this kind of weather and in this kind of region. On the eve of Independence Day, Republic from Siachen base camp. Bigger challenge for the Indian Army, the soldiers, is not only fighting with the enemy but also in adverse weather.
चैलेंज की बात है तो चैलेंज इंडियन आर्मी के लिए कोई चैलेंज नहीं होता। इतने -डिग्री तापमान में सर्वाइव करने के लिए हमें स्पेशल इक्विपमेंट और क्लोथिंग इशू किए जाते हैं।
पर जाने से पहले हमारे को स्पेशल ट्रेनिंग, स्पेशल इक्विपमेंट्स।
The international flag was hoisted on LOC and it was flying high in Sher, Rajouri, meters away from Pakistan post. Locals hoisted the tricolour flag as a part of the Har Ghar Tiranga campaign. Students in the area appealed all to hoist the national flag. Meanwhile, the local officials said they made sacrifice and will continue to do so for India. The whole country is celebrating 75th anniversary of India's independence and Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav in an initiative to celebrate and commemorate 75 years of independence and its glorious history of India's culture and traditions. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Ahead of India's 75th Independence Day, a dress rehearsal was conducted at the iconic Red Fort in the national capital. The Jawans were seen conducting a march past while a helicopter showered flower petals from above.
What the camel can do in the desert, no amount of technology can. And this is what we're going to tell you. What is the capability of this camel?
रेगिस्तान में सबसे इफेक्टिव जानवर जो है वो कैमल है। तो कैमल को किस तरह से ट्रेन किया जाए कि पीस टाइम में वहाँ पर अच्छी तरह से पेट्रोलिंग कर सकें, पूरे एरिया की देखभाल कर सकें, वॉर के अंदर जो इसकी यूटिलिटी है, जो इसकी उपयोगिता है, उसको अपना सार्थक कर सकें।
Come with me. Let's spend some time with India's only camel unit at the BSF grounds in Jodhpur.
these kind of trainings are very important because this entire region is more of the mountainous rather than plains. So the Jawan coming to the Kargil.
Belgium MP raises Iranian link to attack on Salman Rushdie. Links attack to 2 Iranian generals killed by the United States. Stunning leads emerge in the Kill Nupur plot. Pakistan terror handbook accessed by Republic Network. Security threat to UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, even as an FIR is registered after the bomb threat letter. Terrorist Bitta Karate's wife sacked by J&K government. 40 terrorist skins sacked from the government post till now. No soft corner for terror is the policy. Another NDA ally faces a split now as Pashupatinath Paras backs NDA. 3 of his MPs likely to back the JDU. Big win for Samir Wankhede. Caste Security Committee gives clean chit to the former NCB Zonal Director. Reports suggest terrorists have hurled a grenade on joint security party of CRPF and police in Kulgam. 2 people have been injured in the attack. This coming just 2 days before India marks its 75th or 76th Independence Day. The Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nefarious designs of terrorists continuing, and another attack. This in fact second in the last 48 hours, targeting the CRPF and Jammu and Kashmir Police joint patrol. This time a Naka has been targeted, and